Hey guys, welcome back to 428 Shibuya Scramble. This is TJ, your gamer girl, signing on. So, in the last episode, we started the game and found out that a girl was kidnapped. Kano, we met Kano and technically Achi. Oh, this is gonna be interesting to explain every single time I start this up. So we ended up getting our first bad ending, but only because the tutorial was going to teach us how to change things, which meant we had to start Achi's story. And he grabbed a bunch. This is seriously really hard to explain because a lot happened in just one episode. Anyway, we're on Achi's story to try and change Kano's fate. Jesus, this place is filthy. He paused to pick up a plastic bottle that had been tossed on the ground. Then, with a heavy sigh, he slipped the crushed receptacle into his trash bag. He'd been picking up trash around town like this for about 6 months now. It had gotten so that the sort of garbage most people would hardly notice stood out to him more like a sore thumb. Most days he'd fill his trash bag to the top by the time he made it from his house in Donganzaka to the train station. Today, he was halfway to the station when a woman's anxious voice caught his attention. I'm sorry. I'm in a bit of a hurry here. He looked up and saw a timid-looking woman being confronted by 2 men. One with brown hair, one with black. From the look of them, he guessed that the men were scouts for some hostess club. He ran into this sort of thing pretty frequently on his trash cleaning walks around the town. Now the kind of trash to take care of. Achi quickly interposed himself between the girl and the 2 recruiters. Hey, can't you see that you're bothering her? Huh? Who the hell are you? The 2 men glared. Take a hike, pal. Achi stood his ground. Look, she ain't interested. You're just gonna have to find some other mark. The hustler's annoyance turned to open rage. Well, listen to ya. Got a bit of a mouth, huh, buddy? The brown-haired thug smacked his lips around his chewing gum like a dog worrying a bone. How about we take this someplace more quiet? Yeah? What this means can depend on the person speaking. To a young woman, let's go someplace more quiet might suggest a cafe or a park. But to a street punk, it might mean an alley where passerbys are unlikely to interrupt. And someone's gonna get their ass beat. The girl stood by uneasily, watching the goings-on. Hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for that might be Achi, actually. Hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for trouble. Is that supposed to be an apology? On your knees and beg, pal. The man spat his gum onto the ground. Achi looked down at the glistening wad of gum on the sidewalk. His last shred of goodwill vanished. You better pick that up. Right now. What? Didn't you hear me? 'Cause I told you to get on your knees and blah! Achi's hand shot out, grabbing the man by the jaw. Whoa, easy, pal! The other man's bravado drained from his face. Achi tightened his grip on the brown-haired hustler's jaw. Sweat dripped from the man's reddening brow. The man struggled, but Achi just tightened his grip. Gum's a real pain in the ass to clean up after it's gotten stuck to the street, you know. Ever stop to consider that? Oh, wait, are you? The other hustler's panicked eyes had fixed on Achi's chest. Yeah! Oh, crap! That shirt, man! The guy's voice was starting to break. That's Mean Clean! A guy with a Mean Clean shirt. Carrying around a trash bag? That means you're... His face went pale. Angry? The other man echoed the words through his held-shut jaw, tears welling up in his eyes. Get it right, pal. Achi clenched the man's jaw harder still. It's mean clean. Ow, 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 ow. We're sorry, man. You're Achi, right? Dude, we honestly had no idea. Come on, man, you gotta cut some slack. The man scrambled to snatch the wad of gum up off the street, stuffing it into his pants pocket. Finally, Achi let go of his companion. The brown-haired hustler's face was twisted up with fear. Tears streamed down his cheeks. Gasping out hasty apologies, the two thugs scampered off. Hey, so... A shy smile came to the girl's face. What? Oh. Ryoko Kakinuma, a second-year student at Midoriyama Academy's law school. These hustlers managed to corner her while she was on her way to her part-time job at a cafe. It's a popular plot and trashy, almost for the main character to fall in love with the hustler like these guys. But such things rarely happen in real life. Dude! Thank you for saving me. No, I apologize. Huh? The girl stared in surprise. You'll run into creeps like that now and then, but don't hold it against us. Shibuya's a good town. Yeah, okay. Achi gave her a quick wave, then turned and continued on his way down Dogenzaka. Achi was Shibuya born and raised. He was keenly aware of all the changes the ward had seen since he was a kid. Grocery stall and inconspicuous little side streets, tiny parks nestled between buildings. Achi knew it all like the back of his hand. Trash, human or otherwise, had no place in this town. Not on his watch. Achi made his way down towards Shibuya Station. Throngs of people shuffled to and fro across the scramble. The view shifted constantly from one moment to the next, almost as if the city were alive. And if the city was a living thing, then Shibuya Station was its heart. With streets like Bunkamura Dori and the center guy serving as arteries pumping a bloodstream made of people. Today as ever, the heart was pumping that blood to every nook and cranny of Shibuya. And there was Achi, just another part of this great urban organism. Guess I'm one of the city's white blood cells. Or, wait, maybe I'm a red blood cell. Hold on. Is that right? Or did I have it right the first time? White blood cells eliminate pathogens from the bloodstream. Red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Achi was probably thinking of white blood cells. Emerging from his reverie, he noticed a rather conspicuous young woman standing by the statue of Hachiko outside Shibuya Station. This is where we can change Kano's fate. Oh, she's totally my type. Really? To be up someone's alley, to be someone's cup of tea, to be someone's... I mean... Wonder if she's a model or small-time actress or something. Looks like she's waiting for someone. Probably another guy. Dang. Good looking as she was, there was no way she wasn't already taken. What kind of guy scored a girl like that? Probably the rich-ass CEO of an IIT company. I can read. There's something. Crouching down to tie off the trash bag, he continued gazing wistfully at the girl. Then noticed something peculiar. She was carrying an attaché case, the kind a businessman might use. It was a large case, and apparently so heavy that she was struggling to hold it despite using both hands. You reached the decision point. Let's have Achi not approach Hitomi. Yeah, because when he approached Hitomi in Kano, it ended badly for Kano. Actually, it kind of ended badly for both of them. But first I gotta dump this trash. He looked around. But first, I gotta dump this trash. He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby. Now, Achi won't approach Hitomi. which means he will avoid being arrested by Kano. At the same time, Kano's fate will also change, and he will no longer wind up at a bad end, so let's switch back to Kano's story using the time chart. What? Oh. This is the time chart. It shows the protagonist's progression. Through the story, decision points are marked with that. Kano's fate has changed based on Achi's actions. Select Kano's 1030 block and press A. Okay, 1030. Dude, this is really intricate. I suppose you could call it that. Kano give a right chuckle at his partner's like a shame. Okay, we've seen... Ah! Now it's different. Previously, Achi got mixed up with Kano and the police, but now, another man has appeared instead. By changing what Achi did, you've also changed Kano's story. The man in the black coat. He's not Japanese. Looks to be in his early 30s. A foreign man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He made his way toward her, his expression blank. He didn't match the description Hitomi had given them, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper was using an accomplice to snatch the ransom payment. Alright. Sasayama raised an eyebrow. This may be our guy. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees ready for action. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Was this the culprit? Or perhaps... The stranger took hold of the attaché case. It was him. En masse, the detectives began to close in. Let's go, Kano! On it! Sasayama and Kano leapt into action. But they never expected what happened next. The case clutched in both arms, the man veered suddenly, running right toward them. What? What happened? Kano's story has suddenly hit a keep out. Keep out refers to a point in the story where your progress is currently stopped. In order to advance beyond a keep out, you need to jump from another protagonist's story. So that's how they, So that's how it goes. Okay. At 10:30, Achi has the text, young man in a suit, set as red keywords. Checking these keywords will allow you to jump from Achi's story back to Kano's. Now head back to Achi's story and keep an eye out for that key phrase. In red. Okay, gotta dump this trash. Huh? A man had come up beside the girl. He was dressed in black, and he wasn't Japanese. It looked like they were having a conversation. The girl nodded tensely at something the man said. Achi stared. Something tells me that's not her boyfriend. The girl handed the attaché case over to the man. He took hold of it with his right hand and began walking briskly away. Whoa! A nearby homeless man... homeless man suddenly leapt over Achi and broke into a run, as if he'd been waiting for this very moment. Some words in the text appear in red. Red text denotes important keywords that let you jump between different protagonists' stories. This allows you to shift between characters at specific points. These can also allow you to clear a keep out in another character's story and let you read on. If you come across red text, press X to underline and press A. A window will appear, allowing you to jump from one protagonist to another at that point, then press A to continue. the other character story after the Keep Out. Give it a try. Spreading Los Angeles. By performing a jump on the screen, you can advance another protagonist story past a Keep Out. Press A to confirm and jump over to Kano's story. Let's go, Kano! On it! Sasayama and Kano. In 428, you will often need to jump to get past another character's Keep Out. Jump from red keywords to clear a Keep Out. Keep this in mind as you advance through the story. Okay, there won't be any more tutorial messages for a while. If you get stuck somewhere, try changing protagonists or making different decisions to advance. You can now use the time chart in the main menu from the main menu. You can access gameplay explanations and adjust settings. Press Y to open the time chart, and that to open the main menu. Huh? Ah, yes, that's bad. This main menu. Alright, might as well continue with Kano before continuing with Achi. But they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man suddenly veered, running right toward them. What? Catching sight of the two detectives, the suspect staggered to a halt, then bolted off in a new direction. Kano whipped... Where did the banana come from? Kano whipped off his costume, glasses, and followed in hot pursuit. Seriously, where did the banana come from? Who was holding a banana? At the crosswalk, the signal changed to red, and the flow of foot traffic abruptly halted. Just as quickly, hundreds of cars all lurched back into motion. There was no escape for the culprit now. Or so it appeared. The converging cops slowed their pace, confident their man was cornered. Then the foreigner barreled straight into the intersection, dodging between the oncoming cars without any hesitation. The mob of detectives came to a halt, not eager to rush to their deaths along with him. Kano, however, remained in hot pursuit, charging into the traffic at the crossing. Kano, are you crazy? Come back! Kano heard Sasayama shouting, but his feet kept carrying him onward. With shouts and sirens echoing all around, Kano closed in on the foreigner. Just a little closer. Just a little closer and he'd be in tackling range. He leaned forward, preparing to pounce, his eyes fixed on the culprit's feet. It was now or never. Kano, back off! Don't take him down! It was Kuze shouting through Kano's earpiece. Huh? Kano hesitated in surprise. Had he really just been ordered not to apprehend the criminal? Let him go for now. The real purpose someplace else. Well, great. What had happened to the plan? He'd been told that all personnel were to secure the area ASAP. Didn't HQ want them to catch the perpetrator? Arrest team, stay on the foreigner's tail. Alright, arrest team. A police dedicated exclusively to the task of apprehending the criminal. While a kidnapping case is in progress, the roles of the officers involved are carefully designated so that every officer is ready to take immediate action as the situation develops. Typically, tried and true veteran MPD officers are put in charge of teams for breaking into buildings or apprehending the suspect. Forensics team, get busy cross-referencing photos. Okay, I know what forensics team is. Just in case. A team deployed by the MPD to handle the actual tests and techniques of on-scene investigation, such as collecting and comparing fingerprints and analyzing photos of suspects. Even if this foreigner was only an underling hired for this one task, the police had now tipped their hand that they'd been lying in wait. If they didn't lock things down now and get more info on the kidnapper, a girl's life might be at stake. Kano recalled another maxim from his dick diary. Dictum number 12. Always assume a worst-case scenario. If Kuze had told him that this guy go, that implied he was counting on the team that was now in position. But if the crook had planned a way to break through the police dragnet and escape with the ransom, and he succeeded, what was the right call here? Should he take this guy down or back off after all? I mean... Well... Let's try B. Kuze's instructions had been clear. Let the other officers chase after the guy. Kano had his own job to do. He broke up his pursuit, pointing the next wave of detectives in the direction of the foreigner had fled. Kano had almost gotten close enough to get a good look at the guy's face. But if Kuze had ordered him to let the guy go, well, his boss should know what he was doing. The perp was someone else's problem now. He had just ceased his pursuit when Kuze's panicked voice shouted and shrill in his ear. Someone's taking hate on me! What? Kano recognized Kuze's trademark squawking immediately. Subject is male. He appears to be carrying a gun. He's fleeing in the direction of Meiji Dori. What? Kano could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped? Had she been abducted by whoever had taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took their eyes off her. Something's very wrong here. What in the world is going on? Kano hurried to search for the man who'd taken Hitomi. If he was heading toward Meiji Dori, there was a good chance he'd gone down one of the alleyways nearby. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man, another foreigner, crossing an intersection a few dozen meters ahead. The man was dressed in black, just like the guy who'd grabbed the ransom money. Kuze's right. The kidnapper wasn't acting alone. But wait, something was amiss. Hitomi isn't with him. Where was she? Kano skidded around the corner and then stopped short. The man in black was standing right there, pointing a gun right at him. Before Kano could react, the man fired. Oh! I think I just got Kano killed! All except for his cheek, he pressed against the asphalt and the palms of his hand. They felt so cold. There was nothing he could do. Nothing, that is. Except to lie there and watch as his killer turned and walked away. Yeah, I just got... Have Achi make the choice to talk to Hitomi instead at 10:35. Okay. So... yeah, we need... Then, seemingly from everywhere, a whole bunch of other guys burst into motion. First one, then another, a third, a fourth, a fifth, over a dozen now. What the heck? Clearly something big was going down. Were they after the attaché case? Within moments, Achi lost sight of them all through the crowd. With that many people chasing him, the guy with the case was sure to get caught. Wait, what about that girl? Achi turned back around. The girl was still there. She was staring in the direction that the man who'd taken the case had gone, a worried expression on her face. No, top one. Achi couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Maybe he should talk to her and ask what's going on. But just as he was making up his mind, a middle-aged man in a ratty business suit shuffled awkwardly over to her first. Was there something wrong with one of his legs? He was using a cane to walk. Then one of his hands slipped into his jacket pocket. Achi could scarcely believe his eyes. A revolver? A specific one. Colt Detective Special, a .38 caliber revolver introduced in 1927 by Colt's Manufacturing Company. A classic example of a snub-nosed revolver. As the name implies, the weapon is frequently carried by detectives, narcotics officers, and the like for self-defense. It's actually, I think it's still kind of common, but not as common as, like, the handguns used nowadays. Suddenly, a young man came running through the crowd. Seeing him, the man with the cane turned on his heel and vanished in the scramble. Something big was going down. What is all this? The young man was closing in on the girl, his expression grim. That guy's up to no good. Achi sprang into motion. Hey, run, person! Achi! You should have gone after the guy with the gun! Leaping high, Achi delivered a flying kick right between the man's shoulder blades. The guy went down but recovered surprisingly fast, spinning back to his feet to grapple with Achi. What the hell is your problem? What the hell is your problem, man? Achi snapped. The two stood staring each other down as the crowd swirled around them. Let go of me! You let go of me first! After you let go of me, sure! You first, pal! Don't you call me pal, man! Don't call me man, pal! I ain't your pal, friend. I ain't your friend, man. He ain't your man. Seriously? Neither man was willing to yield. The crowd had parted to avoid the scuffle. Passerby were staring from all sides. Well, crap. Achi got a sudden sinking feeling. What the hell am I even doing? Jumped in over my head as usual. His anger melted away. He loosened his grip. Without further argument, the other man let go of Achi's jacket. Turning quickly away, the stranger hurried over to the statue of Hachiko, where he dropped to his knees dejected. The girl who had been standing there was nowhere to be seen. Maybe this was the guy she'd been waiting on? The guy was clearly upset that she was missing. Achi actually felt kind of bad for him. He decided it would be wise to leave while the guy's attention was elsewhere. Whew. He hurried back along the road to his house. The wind had gone out of his sails and didn't... wait a minute, Hitomi's still gone! And didn't feel much like cleaning up trash anymore. Oh well, guess I'll read some manga and go to bed. Better play it safe before the day got any worse. Bad end? Tussle's a stranger. Ah. Okay. So we need to make sure Kano doesn't go back to the scramble. So he needs to keep pursuing the foreigner. Okay, letting the perp escape now is too big a risk. He had to catch this guy ASAP. The man darted down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently, he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. He noticed two people over by a trash pile. At first, they appeared to be a young couple. Then, looking more closely, he realized that the girl was Hitomi. Mr. Kusei, I've located Hitomi Osawa. The couple took off running, the rough-looking guy dragging Hitomi by the hand. She's with a man in his 20s. It looks like she's being led away against her will. Clarify, please, Kusei demanded. What's going on? I'm not sure. Was this guy a member of some criminal group? It looked like the two were running away from something. Alright, we'll handle the foreigner. You'll go after Hitomi. Got it. Kano sprang into action. Stop right there! The young man glanced back at Kano. Rather than stopping, he picked up speed, continuing to drag Hitomi along with him. She didn't seem quite able to keep up. Kano knew he could catch them. He tried to close the distance in a sprint. After a short distance, the young man stopped, realizing he couldn't outrun his pursuer. Shielding Hitomi behind him, he glowered at Kano. "Why did you run off?" Kano demanded. "'Cause you were chasing us!" Blatant lie. People didn't just bolt like that without good reason. The young tough started edging away, keeping Hitomi behind him. Kano followed. "Look, just let the girl go." The guy glanced back at Hitomi. She shook her head fearfully. Maybe this troublemaker had warned her to keep her mouth shut. "You've got this, Kano. Just don't let them out of your sight." Get! A sudden blow to the top of his head left him staggering. His eyes spun as he reeled with vertigo. There was a flapping sound, and a vague black shape wheeled above him. Was that a crow? It was the last thing Kano saw before his vision went dark. Yet another pendant? Mr. Chasing, the man who snatched the attaché case, Kano happened across Hitomi and Achi. I'm gonna figure this out. Okay, ready business suit, the gun. With a single fluid motion, the man lifted up the gun and pointed it in the girl's direction. He was aiming right for her head. Huh? The girl had noticed the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. Achi didn't hesitate. Breaking into a full run, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled to the pavement. But the would-be assassin kept hold of his weapon and quickly scrabbled back to his feet. Achi knew he had to act fast. He grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away. "This way!" he shouted. She just stared at him, uncomprehending, trembling like a startled animal. "Come on, run!" Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave a fearful nod. "To the police box, let's go. Let's just get out of here." That ended up with Kano. "To the police box, let's go!" "The police box, let's go!" Still pulling the girl by the hand, Achi headed for the police box outside the train station. But it was empty. There were always policemen staffing these things. Why did it have to be on demand now? Achi flashed a worried glance behind him, and he saw the assassin in pursuit like a man possessed. Yikes, this is not good. There was nothing they could do but run. With the frightened girl in tow, Achi ran beneath the JR Yamanote Line railway overpass. A rail loop line that services the Tokyo metropolis. Typically, the morning rush is quite intense, with the stretch from Ueno Station to Okachimachi Station sometimes crowded as high as 216% capacity. Sheesh! I knew rush hour was bad, but I didn't think it was that bad. "Don't worry, just trust me," he told her. But first... They sped past a convenience store where an employee was cleaning up the sidewalk. "Here, take this, will ya?" Achi tossed over the bag of trash. "Huh? Wait, what?" "This way." They slipped through the crowd into a nearby back alley. "But this way's a dead end," the girl said breathlessly. "Like I said, just trust me." Stopping abruptly, Achi kicked down a wooden plank covering a gap between two buildings. Clearing a space for that a person could fit through. See, we can get away through here. In you go. But the girl just stood there looking terrified. What's the matter? Achi asked. Come on, we gotta hurry. But She looked at him as if he too was about to pull a gun on her. He could hardly blame her. After all, he was just some random guy who had turned up out of nowhere. But this was no time for dawdling. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. If they just stood there, he was going to catch them. Okay, sweetheart, hear me out, he said in a rush. The name's Achi and I live in the neighborhood, and I'm not the kind to stand idly by when a girl is being chased by some killer. So please, just trust me, and I'll do my best to keep you safe. He hoped the look in his eyes could convince her he was being on the level. After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance. Whew. Right, let's start with this. They had paused beside an enormous stack of beverage crates. With a quick shove, Achi knocked the whole pile down, sending it cascading across the pursuer's path. Now that was a close call. The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the falling crates. My bad, man, Achi called out. Mind cleaning that up for me? The man scowled back at them and fumbled for his gun. Achi flashed him a wave of goodbye and slipped away between the buildings with the girl. Flight! Screw off! Hurrying down a narrow alley, they emerged onto a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane hadn't given up, he would probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Achi decided it was best to try and stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move. Guess we can lay low here for a bit, he said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny old hostess club. She followed him reluctantly. Achi flicked the switch inside the front door and a chintzy chandelier glowed to life. He sat the girl down on the small sofa beside the counter. She gave him a worried look. Achi felt a pain of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking. Oh, no, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not going to try any funny business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not in business anymore, so I figured we're safe here. The girl chuckled at his evident discomfort. All right then, she said. So, we good? We're good. Okay, well, good. Achi made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes. So, how about some introductions? I'm Achi Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Achi. I'm Hitomi Osawa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess. With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Achi felt his heart sing. She was charming, personable, just about everything about her was captivating. Achi had never met another girl like her. Achi? Buh? Is something the matter? You were spacing out there for a bit. Achi shook his head to dispel his daze. Damn it, this is no time to get all starry-eyed. He needed to think of some way to keep her safe from the guy who was after her. Look, can you tell me what the heck is going on? Please, I need to know if I'm going to help you. Right, okay. I'm not really sure where to begin. Hitomi looked down, lost in thought. Apparently hers was a long story. Alright, she said at last. I guess I'll just explain things as they happened. Wait, hold up. Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, I'm not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations ain't exactly my strong suit. Okay. I'll try my best. She got comfortable and then started her story. So, last night, somebody abducted my sister. The kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handoff personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning to make the exchange. So I did. I did not... Whoa, I'm sorry, hold up a sec. Achi suddenly lost the thread of the conversation. At times like this, you can press up to go back and reread what you've already seen. A mark will appear in the upload corner when your page... Press to go back and reread sections you've already played through. To scroll ahead through text you've already read, press down. When rewinding and advancing like this, A will sometimes appear in the upper left corner. Press A while this is being displayed to reread the current page. Whoops. Oh, what? I didn't want to reread that. Okay. I'm not gonna push reread again. And this man came by and he took the attache case with the money. And then afterward, that other guy with the cane turned up and pointed his gun at me and... Could you say that again, but like... simpler? Huh? Sure. I'm just having trouble following is all. I mean, is this a plot of some movie or soap opera? No, that's not... Or some kind of hidden camera show? This is real! This really happened! The look in Hitomi's eyes was dead serious. She's gotta be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying? And he had seen the attaché case and the gunman himself. How much was the ransom, if you don't mind my asking? Hitomi hesitated. 50 million yen, she said after a moment. Achi gave a whistle of amazement. The detectives told me that was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for. It's funny, that's for sure. I guess there's good money in that sort of thing. As soon as the words were out, he realized his blunder. Sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way. He fidgeted awkwardly, and Hitomi looked away. I'm an idiot. Okay, I think I get this kidnapping thing. So I'm guessing those guys who chased after the guy who took the ransom money were undercover cops. He replayed the scene in his head. But then, the kidnapper took the attaché case and ran, right? So if you were empty-handed, why'd that guy with the cane come after you? I'm honestly not sure. Hitomi's words trailed off. This was clearly difficult for her to talk about. Anyway, we should probably get you to the police as soon as we... No, we can't do that. Hitomi's tone was resolute. I can't take this to the police. Why not? Achi waited for an answer, but none came. After a long, awkward silence, she stood up from her seat. I really appreciate the help, but I should go now. She gave Achi a deep bow. No, hold on. What do you mean go? Go where? He hurried to intervene as she headed for the door. I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure the rest out on my own somehow. Hey, I said hold on! Hitomi ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. Standing there was the man with the cane, his revolver in his hand. To be continued! Achi Endo's 10 o'clock story ends here. However, Shinya Kano still has more to do. Read along further in Kano's story. Alright, we'll do that in the next episode. This is gonna be confusing, isn't it? But I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it. So, we'll continue Kano's story next time. Till then, this is the Gamer Girl signing off. Bye-bye.